Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you on a very wet and super fantastic, sparkling, winning Wednesday. So how is your day going? Mine is awesome. We got woken up with a thunderstorm this morning. Yay! And it was really cool. You know, Zeffy just like put her head up, put her head back down, and went straight back to sleep. And as for me, I thought it's before 5 o'clock. It's about that time to get up. So I just sort of laid there for a little bit, just laid there and listened to the rain falling on the roof. It was amazing. It was incredible. And at one point, we had this big clap of thunder, like right overhead. Zeffy's up, and she took off. And I thought, oh, normally she goes to the window and looks out. And I thought, let me check to make sure she's okay, and it didn't frighten her, because that was a really loud crack of thunder. And I looked down the length of the RV, and she's standing at the window, peering out, like, where is it? What is it? Look at it. And the flash goes, and she sort of like looks at it. And another boom comes, and she's like, where did that come from? So she was completely fine. So people go, what you like thunderstorms? She's fine. She doesn't. I mean, this is what makes her such a great traveling dog, is the fact that she can get out there and she doesn't mind thunderstorms. It's absolutely amazing. That I have got a dog that is not afraid of thunderstorms. And you know, when we were in where were we? Lyman, in Colorado, we got stuck in a really bad, severe thunderstorm with hail. And in fact, that was a year ago. I think it was yesterday. Excuse me, because the photos for the thunderstorm where photos I posted last year, where I caught a photograph of the lightning inside the cloud, came up on my memories yesterday. So it was a year ago yesterday. We had that major thunderstorm, hailstorm, and everything else. Yep, and it sounded really, really loud. It went on for like an hour. And when we went out after the storm had gone past, I opened up the door to see, you know, how big were these hailstones. There was nothing, no sign of no storm, except for the ground being wet. There was no hail on the ground. There were no trees down, no branches, no leaves, no nothing, no wind. And yeah, we were rocking and rolling during that thunderstorm. And I go outside, and I'm like walking around, and there's like no damage anywhere. But being inside an RV, the sound gets amplified because we basically have no insulation. You're talking maybe 4 to 6 inches between the shell of the RV and the inside roof. There's not a lot of stuff there. There's not a lot of stuff. But anyway, so we're on Winning Wednesday. So let's see. We're going to do part 2 of about 11 ways to change your actions. We're going to look at the other 6 of them. 6. Yes. Remember, we have 11. So when you're holding up 10 fingers, Helen. Yes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 plus 5 is 11. So we're looking at the other 6 today. So let's do a quick recap on yesterday's one. The first 5 were smile more, slow down, play with the kids, connect with nature, and dress up. So today we're going to do 6 through 11. So are you ready? Here we go. Number 6, add color. Oh, this is my favorite one. I am purple is my power color. It is my color. I absolutely love purple. I love pink as well because it's another shade of purple. Just a lighter shade of purple. They're going to be some people out there going, no, Helen, that's not quite how it works. Pink and purple go very well together. I love color. It is one thing that annoys me about my RV, about Sparkles, is that it is beige on beige on beige and everything. I mean, you can see here my lovely beige window balances with these lovely beige, although people might call it tan, blinds. And I'm sort of like, yeah. And then there's this lovely header valance across the top here, which is, it's actually got some black in it, but it's still beige on beige on beige. And so I'm trying to think of ways that I can add color to this. And I've been thinking more and more about how to renovate the RV and get rid of a lot of the beige. I mean, even all the furniture's beige or tan. So it's all in that taupe, beige, tan color spectrum, my entire RV, from the carpet on the floor to the carpet on the ceiling to the blinds to the valances to the furniture. Yeah, it's very bleh. So I've got a colorful quilt on the bed. Let's see, where else am I putting? I've got my purple bit here. I actually have a burgundy. My blind behind my recliner broke. So I put a burgundy, the light blocker, like this curtain here blocks out all the light and everything else. So I've got the same sort of thing over there, but it's a burgundy one. That was the first one I put in. And when this blind broke, I thought, And so I ended up going with I found this purple. I was like, oh, I gotta have my purple. Gotta have my purple. So yeah, and then I've got my stick-ups around with all the family photographs on, which add color. So add color. Yellow is probably the color that is most closely associated with happiness, but any hue you like that can have a positive psychological impact, paint your kitchen green or buy a purple plant for your desk, guys. And, just put a splash of color somewhere. Even my new computer is pink. I wish I could show you, but I'm on it, so I can't. But my new computer is pink. The purple one was going to take 4 weeks to come through, and I'm like, I'm not waiting that long. So my new computer's pink, and I love it. Zeffie's got her pink and purple harnesses and leashes and things, and we're incorporating even a little dog tag is pink with sparkles. So put color in your life. Add color to your life. I love color. I wear multicolored tops. I've got like a rainbow of color of tops. There's some colors I don't wear because I don't think they look good on me, and I know they don't look good on me. But the colors that I can wear, like the rich jewel tones of the blues and the reds and the purples and the teals, those colors I absolutely love. The ones that I can wear, and they make me feel good. Another good example. This is a handful of pens on my desk. I got pink and orange and purple and light blue and regular blue and a yellow highlighter, orange highlighter, green highlighters. And I've got my multicolored pen here. So, I'm always incorporating color in some form in my life because colors make me happy. Colors make me happy. Some colors, if I'm in not in a very sparkly mood, I might tend towards some of the darker colors. In fact, when I feel myself drawing towards the darker colors, I purposely start using the pinks and the oranges just to bring that spark of life back into the thing. So that's number 6, add color. Well, that was a long one. Okay, number 7, listen to music. A cheerful song can transform your day. I was just on the call and somebody mentioned the Queen song, Don't Stop. And all of a sudden it's like, don't. And that tune in my head suddenly changed. It could take a phrase. It could be that I see something. But put together a playlist that will make exercising fun, where you enjoy getting out and exercising. I like listening to audiobooks when I'm out walking. But if I go into a gym to work out on weights and stuff, I want workout music. I want that pump hard music that just gets the blood pumping. Housework, it's like put the 80s on, turn the volume up, and let's go to town. You got to have the volume turned up to hear it over the vacuum cleaner. Think about music and what a role it plays in your life, and what are some of your favorite tunes that you like to listen to. Give generously is number 8. Give generously. Sharing your time, talents, and resources with others make you feel like you have more than when you started. Volunteer in your community and give others presents even when there is no special occasion. I love sending greeting cards that say just because. And they open up and said, had nothing, just wanted to wish you a happy day or a super fantastic sparkling day. I love sending out cards with no expectations of return. I love sending out gifts with no expectations of return. I love to serve. It's in my DNA to serve, to be of service. My parents both come from service backgrounds. My mum was a nurse. My dad was a fireman, then a policeman. He comes from a long line of military background, with both his mother and father serving during World War II. And then their brothers also served in the New Zealand armies as well. So, and then then you go back to great grandparents, and we had them serving as well. And so there is a long history of service in my family, in my DNA on both sides of my family. So that's something that I know. It's something that I love to do, and if I can help somebody, I will. I just love to serve. But so it's find something to give generously of your time, your talents, your resources, whatever it is that you can do. Go out and help somebody who is less fortunate than yourself. Giving in the community. There are a ton of charities out there that could use some help right now. Mine goes. I said a ton of charities, and all of a sudden my mind goes blank. But you've got places out there like food banks that you can go work at. Homeless shelters. You've got. Cheapers. Wow, one that Brad wanted to join up. One of Brad's dreams was to learn to ride a motorcycle so he could join that motorcycle club that goes out and protects kids who have been abused. and gives them that feeling of confidence. And they will even sit in the courtroom of them, so they've got somewhere that they can focus on where they know that it's a good, positive feeling. And there's some really good motorcycle clubs out there. So if you own a motorcycle, maybe that's something you would like to do. They have stringent qualifying stuff that you have to go through, background checks, everything, because you're dealing with kids who have been abused in some way or another. And so they want to make sure they're not putting any predators in there too, which I totally get and I totally understand. But that's something that Brad wanted to do when he got clear. This is one of his dreams. When he got clear of the cancer, he wanted to go learn to ride a motorcycle so he could go and help kids feel protected with other people in the motorcycle clubs. That was one of his dreams, and he didn't get to do it. So, but it was there. And he always loved watching he would go on and he would surf and find videos of these guys and what they did and everything else. And he just wanted to be part of that community. So find a cause that's close to your heart and go give generously with it, of your time. If you've got a talent that they could utilize, do that in your skills. If you can't do that, but you can help monetarily, that would help too. Whatever you can do to help is always greatly received. Number 9. So 6 was add color. 7 is listen to music. 8 is give generously. Number 9, continue learning. Acquiring new knowledge and skills show you how vast your potential to grow is. Sign up for adult education classes at local universities or take a course online. I've got my genealogy stuff. When I was heavily involved in travel, I was always taking, if the vendors had training classes, I was there. I was learning. I was absorbing. The areas I was interested in the most, I became a sponge for anything that they had, anything that was being put out by the areas that I would sell heavily into. With the genealogy, I am taking classes like crazy. I'm in the middle of doing a genealogy diploma through one of the online colleges in England, which is kind of cool because a lot of my personal stuff comes from England, Scotland, Ireland. And so that's going to help me learn more about that area and more about researching in that area. I've got my genealogy class, my 5-day class starting on the 26th of this month of July. And I'm so looking forward to that. And now I just found another class that I could do on heraldry. So it's learning all about the coats of arms and these well-to-do family, researching the coats of arms, royal families, all of that sort of thing. So I'm sort of like, yay, that's another, that'll be a good one to get into. But that one comes after these other 2 classes I have to do. Got to finish them first before I take that one on. Otherwise, I'm going to be just not have time for work and just sit and learn all day, every day. But, I'm taking whatever opportunities I can to learn things. I'm getting on webinars. I'm getting on lives when they're talking about genealogy and just learning from others, learning from other genealogists. It's always a great place. So continue learning. Number 10, travel somewhere. Oh my gosh. I was like reading this and going, these are all my favorite things to do. Travel somewhere. Plan an exotic vacation or explore an unfamiliar neighborhood close to home. Travel can be expanding without being expensive. And I read that and I thought, this is why I love suggesting to people that they do things like staycations. And a staycation is you can either go stay at a hotel in your local area and go and play tourist within that local area, or you use your home as the home base for the weekend. And the rules that I have for a staycation is you do all your research ahead of time. If you can pre-purchase tickets ahead of time, then do that. But the goal is that on the actual days, you spend no more than $20 per person per day. And you go and find as many free things to see and do in your local area. And that $20 could include food, it could include parking, it could include entry tickets, it may include gas for the car. So you make sure the car is filled up before you start the weekend. And there are some little cheap things that you can do. If you have a seasonal membership to something, and like for example, if you have an annual membership to a zoo or a museum or something, and you decide to add that to your list, that's okay. But the idea of the whole weekend is to learn new things within your local area. So going out there, exploring your local area. It could be, going a couple of towns over and staying there for the weekend and exploring what is in and around that weekend. What's in and around that area. I love staycations. I think they're a fantastic idea. which is why with the RV, I can now go base myself somewhere for as long as I want. And now that I have Bluebird with me, I can go off and explore a lot of different areas that I didn't have access to before because of the travel distance from the campgrounds. But playing, and travel is starting to open back up. Worldwide travel is starting. It's not all back yet, but it is getting there. Different areas are open up at different places. And so I've had a lot of people calling me, oh, I want to go to New Zealand or Australia. Well, you realize they're not open yet. What do you mean they're not open? Everywhere else. I says, no, not everywhere is open. And New Zealand, Australia are not open yet. And so they're not open to international travel. They're open to citizens and residences of the country, but that's it. So I could easily fly home to New Zealand with no problem at all. And if I wanted to, I could also fly to Australia because they're flying backwards and forwards between Australia and New Zealand is still open. But then Sydney kind of got shut down, back in lockdown again, last I heard. I'll have to go investigate that one. But I know that there's no date that they have yet as to when they're going to look at opening borders to international travel. So right now, all you New Zealanders, I hope you're taking advantage of the fact that there are no tourists around that are flooding the country, and that you're able to plan stuff and go and do stuff that you couldn't do before because it was tourist season or something. So I hope you guys are taking advantage of that and getting to know the homeland. Don't leave home till you've seen the country. Anybody from the 80s will know that commercial very well in New Zealand. Number 11. So we've got, hang on, scroll back up here again. So number 6, add color. Number 7, listen to music. Number 8, give generously. Number 9, continue to learn. Number 10, travel somewhere. And number 11 is do something new. Oh, didn't we hear that on like Shake It Up Saturdays? We're always talking about do something new. Any variation in your routine can pull you out of a rut and stimulate your senses. Spend this weekend. Oh, did I write this out? Spend this weekend doing something you've been wanting to do, like baking sourdough bread or playing pickleball. And I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. This is an article I picked up somewhere along the way. I don't know where, but it had these. The actual article is all about what unicorns can teach you about making your life more magical. And so, we've had the change of thinking, which we did on Monday. We did smile more, slow down, play with the kids, connect with nature, and dress up yesterday as part of the change your actions. Today is add color, listen to music, give generously, continue learning, travel somewhere, and do something new. Yes. Do something new. I love this list. When I found this article, I thought, oh my gosh, it's like I wrote this article. I was like, did somebody get in my head and just take out what was in there and put it on paper? So it's, they ended the article saying mythical white horses don't have a monopoly on magic. While Starbucks unicorn frappuccinos were only around for a few days, you can cultivate a sense of wonder that lasts for a lifetime. Take the time to notice the small miracles that happen each day and surround yourself with love and support. So if you would like if you'd like a copy of this full article, then private message me and I will be happy to send it to you. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to add, so I have just decided, snap decision right here, right, executive decision, that if you enter our competition to win tumblers, yes, I remembered to, and these are laser engraved. You can put your name on them. Sorry, the pink ones do come with the lips. So you've got 26 characters on there. Who thought that Helen Brahms, Zeffie's mum, would fit on within 26 characters? So you'll be able to, so on the 31st of July, if you win one of these tumblers, you get to choose which color you like and what you want to put on it. The lips, you don't have an option on. They come with lips. Sorry. But you'd have the choice of the pink or the black. And they're insulated. You've got the little sippy piece there. They're about 16 ounces. Keep your drinks hot and cold for quite a while. So I remembered to put these on the desk. So yes, so we have, in fact, I have the boxes sitting next to me. So yes, so these are our prize. This is our prizes. I may actually give 2 away. I don't know. I'm still toying with that. Who knows? But definitely one of these with a personalized message on it for you will be given away on July 31st, which is our 2-year anniversary of doing Facebook Lives every day for 2 years. So if you want to enter our free drawing at havetowin.com, you will receive not only a free copy of the ebook Family Tree Decoded, You will also receive a copy of the article that we've been reading the last 3 days about, hang on, where's my little thing back here again? What was it called? What unicorns can teach you. So if you would like a free copy of the article, if you would like a copy of the articles, What Unicorns Can Teach You about making your life more magical, then enter our free drawing, Have to Win, and I'm going to go add that article to the email that goes out with the link for the free copy of Family Tree Decoded. So not only will you get an ebook, you also get a free article too. So, and you get a free entry into the drawing for one of these tumblers. So that's it from me for today. Go to havetowin.com. I am out of here. I got to go get on another call. Have a super fantastic Sparkling Winning Wednesday. Let us know in the comments below what wins you are celebrating this week so we can celebrate with you. And we will catch you guys tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Hey, Conetta. Oh, yeah. Have a super fantastic Sparkling Day? Have a super fantastic Sparkling Day. Hey, Conetta.